Often referred to as a psychologist, Jean Piaget is actually an epistemologist, who is someone that studies the nature and beginning of knowledge. Instead of asking what and when children know things, Piaget asked how children arrive at what they know. While much of his research stemmed from the observations of his 3 children, and to some researchers not enough proof of his theory, the stages of cognitive development that resulted from this research have become one of our overall views of how children think in their early years. While some early researchers have thought that learning is either intrinsic, coming from the child, or extrinsic, which are environmental stipulations and or taught by adults to the child, Piaget believed that it was neither view that explains learning by itself, but rather the child's interactions with his or her environment are what create learning. In other words, when the child is actually doing the work themselves and creating their own understanding of what's going on, that is when they are learning and not just being taught by adults. In short, not only did Piaget believe that children's intellectual growth is affected by their interactions with the environment, but that their growth is also based partly on physical development as well. Piaget developed a chart on children's cognitive development based on the stages that they pass through. With that said, the primary stages that teachers are concerned with are what are called the sensory motor stage and the pre-operational stage. As you can see in the diagram that the stages take place between birth to 18 months and 18 months to 6 years of age. During the sensory motor stage, babies rely on their senses towards things as well as the physical activity and interactions they have. The term object permanence comes into play here at this stage, as babies and infants begin to understand that even if something is out of sight, it still exists, even when he or she can't see it. So in short, to support cognitive development, Piaget helps teachers as well as parents with 2 basic ideas at this stage. Keep babies safe, but interested, and when leaving the room or separating from the child, to respond positively and reassuringly at this time. The second stage of Piaget's cognitive development theory is the pre-operational stage. Here, children's development and thinking differs the most between themselves and adult thought patterns. The term egocentric is key here, since children think and relate everything to them. Accommodation is another term in this stage, where the child is in the process of understanding the new information that is provided and experienced. To support this stage of development in children, teachers should set aside large blocks of time for uninterrupted free play and/or work, provide them with as many real-world experiences, and to plan activities and questions that are open-ended. The final 2 stages are concrete operations, where children obtain reversibility in their thought process and are capable of reversing their thoughts, and formal operations, which is signaled by the ability to think in hypothetical terms and logical thought processes. These 2 stages are typically not the main focus for teachers, but they are important in understanding the rest of children's cognitive development. Whether or not some researchers and fellow theorists thought his work was valid, the work Piaget did remains a stable point for teachers today in helping them to understand ways children learn and how they understand the world around them.